Ara Ara.
Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of the Ara Ara Channel. I'm your host Amy, and with me is my co-host Vibs.
Hi!
Hello. And we are continuing the previous episode where we read Reddit stories related to anime. So for Vibs, she talked about anime stories that had to do with relationships, so do check it out if you haven't. This is the second part where I read to her stuff that I found. And yeah, so for mine, it's not really about relationships, not really that relationship focused. I just found them and I was just like, haha, lol. So I was like, all right, let me share this. So we're just gonna continue. So my first one, this is like actually deleted. I was like really trying to find it, and then the only place I could find it was on TikTok, like those Reddit stories.
The one
where it's like the AI voice, right? So this is, I laughed at my sister for giving her baby an anime name, so she blasted me on TikTok and ruined my life. Okay?
Okay, such a problematic life.
So my sister has been obsessed with anime her entire life. As a kid, she would buy all the posters and toys and go to the conventions. I didn't think it was a big deal. I thought she would grow out of it. But now she's an adult and it's really starting to affect her life. When she got her first boyfriend, I was happy for them. They were a perfect match. They both loved anime and went to all the anime conventions and went on a vacation to Japan. The problem was, my sister got pregnant, only after 2 months of seeing him. Although our family was super displeased with us, she was super excited and had the baby. She had a boy and he was born 2 weeks ago. When I asked her what her baby was named, she said his name was Deku, the name of one of her favorite anime characters. I couldn't help but burst out laughing. I told her that her kid is going to end up getting bullied and she better change his name as quickly as she could. She got super offended and said that she knows how it feels to be named Deku because she dresses up like the character and fills his room with anime merch. I told her that has nothing to do with his name, but I just let it go. I can't help but think he will grow up to hate anime and resent his mother for giving him his stupid name and basically forcing the culture on him. Well, apparently, I'm not the only one who had a problem with this whole intimate thing. My sister's husband didn't like it either. In fact, he was so fed up with it, he filed for divorce. Now, they are going through this messy divorce because she won't let this anime thing go. I thought I would help my sister by making her see how dumb her anime obsession is and how it's ruining her life. I invited her over for dinner. We chatted for a while. Then I started telling her that maybe she should see her husband's side of things. My sister wasn't having any of it. She said, how dare I interfere with her life and marriage? She ended up taking my plate of dinner and throwing it on the ground. Glass shattered everywhere. Soon after, she kicked me out and told me to never come back. The next day, I was scrolling on social media, TikTok to be exact, on my Facebook page. I see my sister. She made this huge rant about me and changed things around to try and make it seem like I was being offensive against Japanese culture because I didn't approve of her baby naming decision. The post included several pictures of me and all of my personal social media accounts. I had hundreds of messages from angry anime lovers. I tried to defend myself, but every time I tried to explain it, people would twist what I was saying to make it seem like I was being offensive. My own family won't even talk to me anymore. Am I the jerk?
I wanted to know what this girl did to spin the story around for people to hate her. Because in the first place, naming your son Deku is, I'm sorry, but this is stupid. Because like the name itself, I remember Deku means something like worthless or stupid.
Yeah,
or
so it
something
means
like that.
idiot. Right, it does. So what does Deku mean in Japanese? It means wooden figure or puppet, but also blockhead or fool. So technically, she's naming her kid idiot. Like, that's what
Yeah.
she's naming her kid.
And remember, we had this discussion long before when we were having the One Piece live action, where, for example, in the Philippines, we have American first names and then Spanish last names, like John Santos,
Right.
these kinds of names. And then now you're putting Japanese in the mix, like
Yeah.
Naruto Reyes, like it's so weird because what I feel is that parents who chooses to name their kids after anime characters or video games, if it doesn't sound too weird, then it's fine. Like it's still a bit okay. Like there are still names that are okay for a human, like an actual person. But like Deku, it's not. Like You're not naming a pet, you're naming a human, you're naming a person. They will be carrying this
Right.
name throughout their whole lives. Like I remember there was this Kingdom Hearts group that they were bragging that they named their kids after Sora, Kairi, and Riku. And their last name is like a very American sounding last name.
Mm.
Like I don't know if it was Smith or whatever. Like imagine
Imagine
Kyrie
like Sasuke
Smith.
Smith.
Sasuke Smith. I really don't know about this. Would you name your kid after something that you really like?
No, no, but there are people who do like for example, Arya, right? That because of Game of Thrones, like that
Yeah,
name
yeah,
sort
yeah.
of surged. I think it's like what you said though. It depends on how weird it sounds.
Yeah.
Like for example, Yvette, for example, it's a French name. I guess because it sounds normal anyway. Like it doesn't like it still matches with your name.
Yeah,
But
like
if you
with my
know, but
Spanish
if
last name.
with her Spanish last name, but like I don't know if it was I don't know, like even for me, something like Daenerys is kind of weird. Like
Yeah, for
it's
an actual person's name, Daenerys, right? Or Khaleesi.
yeah.
Who
But
the
there are
heck?
people who did that. There are, I mean, it
Yeah.
surged. The whole because of Game of Thrones, the name surged. So there's gonna be a bunch of Aryas and in the future, and probably
Daenerys running
Luffy's
around.
and like
Jon
Luffy's
Snow.
and I guess Deku. But I guess it also depends on the meaning, right? Like if you're gonna name your kid like idiot, like just dumb. There is a comment here. It says Deku isn't even his real name. It's Izuku.
Exactly. It's his nickname. It's his hero name. That's what I'm saying. Like, for example, I remember there was a surge in naming kids after cars or like aircrafts or whatever. I remember I
Mhm.
used to have a workmate. Her name is Lance, but it was after a car. And then there's another agent of mine before. Her name was Pricks because it's
Mm.
after the Grand
Like the
Prix or
Grand Prix,
something.
right?
Yeah, something like that. There was one more. I'm sorry if I'm naming dropping their names. I had an agent. Her name is Petal because her mom is Petunia, something like that. The petal of Petunia, something whatever, something like that.
Right.
Like I don't know. It's just weird.
It is weird.
No, I mean, okay. See, for example, the
Mm.
name Lance and Pre, it's still okay. And Petal,
Yeah.
like it still makes sense. Like, small things like Rose, these things. But like
Yeah.
Deku or like Naruto, Sasuke, Luffy is it still okay as a kid's name? Or because see, imagine they won't be kids forever. They will grow up to be
Yes.
adults with
Yeah.
actual life. You know,
Yeah. No, I
imagine
think
if
Luffy's okay as a nickname, like a nickname at home, like that's what you
yeah, yeah,
call
yeah,
your
it's still
yeah,
okay if it's a
okay.
nickname.
But like the actual name.
Yeah, but like I feel like if you make it a nickname, it's fine. Like for example, try to think of something more creative. Like for example, I have a friend who's weird. He knows he's weird. He names his daughters after weapons.
Okay.
Like for example, his daughter's name is Mace,
All right.
but
Mace,
the
like
actual
the
Mace, the
yeah.
Mace. His second daughter, the name is Catherine, but the nickname is Qatar, something like that. The one that is
Uh-huh.
used by assassins. So it's just a nickname, but the actual name is still good for
Mm.
a human,
Right.
human being. Like it's just a nickname, which is still fine. For me, that's good. That's a very creative way of doing it so that at least your kid, even if let's say your kid eventually won't like the nickname that you gave him or her, it's
They still
fine.
have a
They can just like
choice, yeah.
they have a choice to ditch the nickname. But like the name itself, imagine naming someone Monkey D. Luffy. Like the actual Monkey D. Luffy, huh? Because I remember there was one guy in the Philippines who named his son Uzumaki Naruto as first name. As first name. I don't know.
No, that's just sad. I remember there was this one episode in the Philippines. So there was this show called Rated K. So for like our viewers, it's basically like random stuff, right? That gets covered there. And there was
Yeah.
an episode where it was like people who had like weird names, and then there was like someone that was like named Pizza 88 or Spaghetti 98 or something like that. And then there was Voldemort, and it's like
There's even
what
COVID
goes-
Bryant.
yeah.
COVID Bryant? Imagine naming a kid after COVID Bryant.
No, like what goes through the parents' minds? Like in general, right? There are people where you can tell, like these people shouldn't be parents because, like there needs to
just
be
making
like
fun,
some
yeah.
sort of test to see if you are okay to be parents. And like I guess like naming your kids is one. It should be like part of the test because it's like
I'm not sure if this is something that we discussed as well in that One Piece episode, but there are certain countries, like I think Ireland, who has a law that you can only name your kids from a certain list. Like you
Okay.
cannot deviate too much, or you cannot, do anime names or something.
Mm.
I don't know. I just feel like it's weird that you're naming your kid like it's a pet.
Yeah.
Because for
Yeah.
pets it's okay. Oh, okay, if you have a dog that's called Kyrie, it's fine, it's cute.
Mm.
Because it's your dog. Or let's say a cat, your cat is Naruto, because you guys are naming your kids Cheeto. Kids,
Yeah.
sorry, your
Yes,
cats,
with cats,
sorry,
yeah.
your
Cheeto
cat's
and
Odin.
Odin. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. Imagine naming your kid as Odin.
I think like in Scandinavian countries, Odin is a normal name, to be fair.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But like Odin Santos, Odin Teaño. Huh? Huh? You got my point? Huh?
Yeah,
Cheeto?
no, that Cheeto. Oh
Right?
no.
Right?
No,
Because in
that,
Scandinavian countries, then it's fine because their last name will sound appropriate. Like it will
right.
sound, I don't know.
I guess it just depends. Maybe, I don't know, maybe it's something that we just need to get used to, right? Like, how did it come to the point where, I don't know, like, for example, back then, using French words or French, like, for you, you have a French
Yeah,
name.
you
Like,
bet.
for us, we accept it. But, like, maybe back in the days, like, in the 1600s, maybe, like, an American was like, why would you name your kid with, like, a French name? That's so weird. Like, maybe we just have to get used to it.
Excuse me, Amy, you keep on mentioning my French name. How about you? You have an
My
Arabic
Arabic
name.
name, exactly.
Excuse me.
Exactly.
You have
Yeah.
Amira as your first name.
I have
Huh?
Amira. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like, maybe we just need to get used to it because someone somewhere, like back in the day, was probably like, oh, it's pretty weird.
My nephew's name is Jaeger, Adam Jaeger.
Yeah.
I don't
Right.
know. It's just my brother. Oh my God.
Adam Yeager. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, maybe we just need to get used to it. Because, like, maybe in the future, they're like, yeah, why did people find that weird? It makes so much sense. Deku Santos.
Deku Fernandez.
Right? Yeah, Uchiha Reyes.
Uchiha Reyes. Because like there are, like, for example, I know some Japanese names that is okay with Filipino surname. Like I remember there was Yuki. I remember
Okay.
there was someone in our school, Miyuki something.
Yeah.
Like these names, or I forgot. There's one more. I really feel like it's weird.
But it's like, who are we to say it's acceptable or not? It's like, oh, my
Yeah.
kid's name is Edward. Why? Because I'm a fan of Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Like,
Or Twilight. You'll never
or
know.
Twilight, right? So why is that acceptable? I guess for us it's weird, and I do not agree with it. But there's a part of me that's like, what if this was weird back in the day as well? Like, someone was like, this is unacceptable, and just enough people started to do it. And like there were enough Mary Antoinettes in the world for people to be like, okay, yeah, we accept.
And Bert, imagine there was a time that, like, I'm not sure if you've heard of this, but in the year 1994, I think, or 1990 something, the reason why there's a lot of kids named John Paul or Paul John is because of the Pope when he
Because
visited
of
the
the Pope.
Philippines.
Right.
He
See,
visited
maybe
the
it's
Philippines, so that's why there's a lot of Paul John, John Paul, PJ, JP, whatever, John names in the
Juan.
Philippines. Yeah, and I remember you were saying something about the trend. I remember names back then that has like very old names, like Eduardo.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like the ones with
Pedro.
the Pedro,
Yeah.
Juanito, something like that. So maybe as the time goes by,
Pablo.
Pablo,
Yeah.
the name changes, So
Yeah.
maybe you're right. Like Corazon. Wow,
Yeah.
Corazon. Mi corazon. Ay. Right? Very Spanish first names.
Yeah.
Clara.
And we accept them.
My
Yeah,
grandma
Clara.
is Maria Clara.
Yeah, maybe back in the 1600s, they're like, oh, that's kind of weird. Like, she looks Chinese. Why is her name Sarah? Like, but we accepted it. Maybe it's just a matter of time. Like, in the future, it's not weird. Maybe. But right now, it's weird, and I do not agree with it.
Yeah. Yeah, for me too. Like, it's a bit... Because, like, imagine doing a roll call as a teacher. Naruto. Sasuke. Deku. Are you here, Deku? Right? Compared to names before, like Neil, Alena, or let's say Elizabeth, or something like that. I don't know. Isabel. Those names. Now
Yeah, but they
it's
were names of
Japanese person.
royalty. Yeah, so I don't know. Let's see.
Your name is a royalty too, Amira.
Oh yeah, literally. Literally.
Literally. Okay. So that's a lot of chica just for one.
Just for the name, yeah, just for the one
For the
story.
name. Yeah. Yeah, because it's really weird. Coming from me, whose nephew's name is Jaeger.
Yeah.
Oh, but yeah, imagine in Full Metal Alchemist, all of their names are like Mustang, Hawkeye,
Yeah.
like Armstrong. Like it still sounds okay,
Yeah, that's what
even
I
if
said.
it's
My kid's name is Edward. Oh, what's your why? Because I like Full Metal Alchemist for the
yeah. No, I mean the last name, the
Yeah,
Mustang and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. Like imagine naming your kid Volkswagen. Oh my god. Benz.
Volkswagen. Benz. I feel like there's gotta be like a Filipino out there whose name is Benz though.
Ben. Ben is a Filipino name.
Yeah, no, but like
No, it's not a
car.
Filipino name. It's an American name, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, Benz. Or what else? Which car? Nissan.
Nissan.
Toyota. Sorry. If there's a kid out there whose name is Toyota, please reach out to us.
Like first name, like your Toyota is not your family. Like it
Yeah.
is literally like your
It's
first
the
name
first
and you're
name.
Filipino.
Oh my god, I used to remember that someone told me like a story that her classmate or whatever is last name is Panty. But the spelling is Panty with the I at the end. Imagine if it's your last name. I don't know how do you go about that. I remember there's also one in our school back in uni. You know this person because he's also in teatro. His last name is Semilia.
What is Semilia? Oh wait, okay, I think I can infer. Okay, okay, I get it.
Like, imagine you cannot change your surname unless you get married. If you're a girl, but if you're a guy, you're stuck with it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like, I think there's a law in the Philippines that allows them to change their last name if it's like that.
Yeah.
If it's too vulgar.
But like Filipino last names also have a lot of like the ones with like D, like Di Maano, you know? So for our non-Filipino
Yeah.
listeners, like
Maano.
D like like DI is like no. So it's like when and like Filipinos use the term like ano to just it means what, literally means what, but like when you can't describe something you go like ano. So it's kind of like I can't. It's literally like the last name is just like I can't or like I can't
Yeah,
even.
I cannot.
I cannot. Di maano.
Di maano. Can't. Unbothered. Untouchable. You know? Kapuso. It's still okay.
Kapuso,
Oh
yeah,
my
it's like
God.
heart, like fellow heart.
Girl, di maunahan.
Di maunahan means like non-understandable. Ununderstandable.
No, like di maunahan meaning like
Can't go can't go
Yeah.
ahead. Can't go
Yeah.
ahead. Like can't
Yeah.
go forward. Can't go
Yeah.
first. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, sorry.
like that person is always first. You cannot go first. You know?
First.
Always first. Oh,
Sorry, my
wait.
Tagalog kind of dumb.
There's one mahusay.
Mahusa, it's like good, right? Like very
Yeah.
good.
Excellent.
Excellent.
Yeah.
I had a classmate. His last name was Makatanga.
Makatanga. What's Makatanga.
Makatanga. So like it's basically like in Tagalog tanga means
It's
dumb.
dumb. Yeah.
But like because of the way it's spelled it's like tanga, but it's like yeah. For our
Girl.
non-Filipino listeners.
I have one here. The full name is Froilan Panis. Last name is Panis.
Explain
It means
what panis
spoiled.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah, like when your food gets spoiled and it tastes bad or
There's one more name. Jose Santos Lubrica. I'm sorry. Okay, sorry. Let's
so
go
and
continue.
Santos is like saint. Saint
Santos.
Lubrica.
Lubrica. Yeah.
Oh,
I don't want to read the rest because they're a bit
NSFW.
vulgar. Yeah, NSFW, and let's keep it,
Let's keep it
safe for
tasteful.
work. Yeah.
Yeah, safe for work. Yeah, what if you're on
Even though I
speakers
said
and you're already
similia.
drunk?
Sorry. Sorry. Anyway, okay. Okay, next story. That's just
My
your
next
first
story.
story, by the way.
Yeah, that's just my first story. Like, second story, here we come. So it's another
Okay.
Am I the Asshole? So, am I the asshole for talking about anime to my girlfriend's parents because she talked about her interests to mine? I, 22 male, and my girlfriend, Min, not her real name, 22 female, have been dating for 2 years. We decided that we should introduce each other to our families soon. Her family lives far away from uni than mine, so we visited mine first. My family is extremely white. Like, in quotes, I call my mom by her first name to be sarcastic white. I asked Min not to talk about her love for K-pop in front of my parents. They always implied that I would have a white girlfriend, so I didn't want to give them more ammunition. Min agreed, but in the middle of my dinner, my mom asked her who was on her phone case. She had a photo card of a BTS member. Min just brushed it off and said it was an artist she liked. My mom asked if it was a BTS member, and she and Min got into a rather excited conversation about K-pop. I never knew my mom listened to K-pop. They've been sending each other K-pop memes for the last few weeks, and it's actually really endearing. Last week, Min and I visited her family. She asked me not to talk about anime since her father was heavily against the two that are my favorite due to the history surrounding them. Attack on Titan and Demon Slayer. She told me this before. I agreed, but when her father asked me what I liked to do, I panicked and said I liked anime. He asked me if I was aware that the titles I mentioned were controversial and offensive to his history. I said yes, but I really just overall liked the stories. This led to him making a comment on how my favorite anime was imperialist trash, and I started to argue. Min told me to shut the fuck up and said we need to leave. I never saw her as angry as she was on that car ride. She asked me how I could lie to her like that, and I told her she did the same with my mom, and her dad was overreacting over events that happened decades ago. She got even more angry and berated me for being socially unaware, which I admit I kind of am. And I argued that she did the same thing to my family after I told her not to talk about K-pop. She was furious at this point and told me to pull over and got out of the car and screamed in frustration. I told her to stop being so controlling like Kelly and get the f*** into the car. She was so silent for the rest of the car ride and has refused to see me since. Every time I try to go to her apartment, her roommate glares at me and says that she's busy. She always leaves her Wednesdays free, so I know that's a lie. She's honestly the best thing that has ever happened in my life. She's outgoing, creative, beautiful, and overall hilarious. She's literally the life of the party, and people seem to be naturally attracted to her. I don't know why such a popular girl like her is dating a CS nerd like me, but hey, I'm not questioning it. It's been weeks and I miss her. Some of our friends are telling me that I need to apologize for calling her controlling and that I'm the asshole. But she broke her promise with me too, and I got mad that she was being hypocritical. I admit that I shouldn't have yelled at her, but she yelled at me first. So, am I the asshole?
I feel like in this situation, you cannot fight fire with fire.
Yes.
I don't understand why he is upset about the K-pop thing. Because like I would understand something for Attack on Titan. It may have themes that are a bit touchy subject for other people. But for BTS, I don't know, like I feel like it's a bit harmless.
Yeah.
Although their songs lately are a bit weird because like they're now singing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Like but the meaning of the song is but I don't know, like what's wrong with it?
Yeah, no, for me, he is the asshole because, like, she kept her side of the promise. She didn't talk about K-pop. His mom was the
Who's
one
the
that
one who
talked about
started,
it.
yeah.
She even said, oh, it's just an artist. And then his mom was like, oh, like, is it BTS? Because I listen to BTS. And that's when she's like, oh, okay, yeah, it is BTS.
Like yeah,
and she talked about
she
it.
felt that that the mom is comfortable talking about it or something.
Exactly. And I guess on his side, okay, he panicked and he couldn't think. And he was just like, anime. But then he could have saved it by, like, not saying the titles, right? Like,
Yeah, you
okay,
could
he
have
said
said a different one,
yeah, there's so
right?
many anime.
Like hello, have you only watched those two titles? Nothing else? Like I mean, you cannot just make
and
up
this
a
is your
lie.
interest? Exactly.
Yeah. Can't you just make up a lie that your favorite anime is I don't know, Naruto instead of Attack on Titan? Or maybe Fairy
One
Tail.
Punch Man.
One Punch Man, like do you have to have that pride of no, I'm a cultured person. My favorite anime is
Right.
Attack on Titan. Because it has this, plot twists and stuff. Like You don't have
And
to
it's
impress the dad like that, you know.
And then, you know how like the ending was like, oh, she's the best thing that's ever happened to me. I don't know why she's dating a CS nerd like me. There's a comment here that says, good news, she's not dating a nerd like you anymore.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, this guy is just dumb. Like, he
Yeah,
doesn't
no, and
make-
she told him in advance to not talk about it. So he had time to think. But he's like, I panicked.
Yeah.
Like, bro, you
Yeah.
had time to think though.
And like the themes discussed in Attack on Titan can be really sensitive because it's about
Yes.
war and, like, you know, as he said, imperialist whatever. The political side of Attack on Titan is very prevalent, so that I would
Exactly.
understand why. But like for BTS, like, I mean, I don't know, like. So
yeah, I think he's the asshole here. Like, there's
definitely
no,
the
like,
asshole,
yeah.
100%. No debate about that. Yeah. Did he try to defend himself in the comments or what?
No, he didn't try to defend himself in the comments as well. Like, and most of the comments are just asking who's Kelly. Because, like, yeah, I was reading that. I'm like,
randomly.
who is Kelly? I don't know. yeah, so that's pretty much
okay.
it. So, last story for me is TIFU. It's not an Am I the Asshole? But I found it I found it really funny. Today, I fucked up by introducing myself as a registered sex offender at my anime club's first meeting. This happened several months ago.
Okay.
So I, 23 male, should start this post by saying that I'm not a troll. The story may seem unbelievable, but I have crippling autism that makes me think in ways that would shock normies. I'm so neurodivergent that other people with autism laugh at me. I was diagnosed with PDD-NOS at the age of 6, which basically means that I'm so neurodivergent that doctors didn't know what exactly to diagnose me with. I graduated from university in the UK some months ago, but I was robbed of my university experience by COVID and I didn't get to socialize and join as many clubs as I wanted. So I decided to just join the university clubs as an alumni after graduating, even though it's 3 hours by train from home. I went with my friend who was asked to come and join. Unfortunately, I got into anime during COVID, so the thought of joining the anime club in my uni never occurred to me. But I decided to join the anime club a few months after graduating. We started off the meeting by doing introductions, and there were a few people dozen there. Everyone was being polite and nice to me at first before the introduction, and then the introduction started. I introduced myself as the RSO, and that I'm banned from schools because my taste in anime is too cool. The RSO stands for the Real Shonen Overlord. I figured people would understand what I was talking about. People started being rude to me after that. I approached a few members and asked them what their favorite anime is. One said she didn't have a favorite anime and that she's going to listen to some music and put headphones in. I then tapped her on the shoulder to get her attention and asked what her top 5 anime are while she was listening, but she ignored me. Soon after, I asked the president if I could join the club. She went to talk to my friend about me and whispered some stuff in his ear, but he wouldn't tell me what she said because it was really mean. And then I asked the president again if I could join. She told me to go downstairs and that I'd find the person in charge there. I did, and nobody was there. Then the door was locked. I waited 20 minutes for my friend and knocked on the door, but they ignored it. I then went back home. Right, so I was telling my other friends this story, and I told them that I was upset for always being singled out and bullied by normies. I eventually told them the full story, and then they exploded in laughter and told me that it was all my fault because I strongly implied that I'm a sex offender because RSO stands for Registered Sex Offender who is banned from the school when I introduced myself. Everything clicked in my head, and now I realized I fucked up big time, and I can't even go back to the club or even apologize to them and say it's a misunderstanding because I'm banned. Real shonen overlord.
I don't know. 'Cause, like, I don't know if I should believe that he's just autistic, neurodivergent, and no one can really understand what goes on in his head. Something that I don't like about the story is that anime is his whole personality. Like, RSO, Real Shonen Overload, really? Who calls themselves that? Apparently he does.
Is it a real thing to exist? I don't know. I've never heard of it. And he's banned from schools.
Just because of the term RSO. Just because. Like, I mean...
I think it's very unfortunate.
I like the way you said very unfortunate, but like, I think it's very unfortunate. Oh well, yeah.
Yeah, no, I think like maybe because he is neurodivergent, right? Like he could have easily saved the situation, I think. Like, he could have, said, like, oh, I thought RSO was real shonen overlord, haha. And then, like,
No, but the
that's why
thing
I
is,
said,
he only found out afterwards, right? Like,
yeah,
the
that's the
whole
thing.
thing is done and dusted.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's the thing. I think
Yeah,
there
he
was a
didn't
lot of
have
factors
time.
that came into play. And the thing is, like, he was being, like, annoying for, I guess, like, neurotypicals, right? Like, someone was wearing their headphones and she was like, what's your favorite anime? What's your favorite anime? In that situation, if you don't know he's autistic and what he meant, it's kind of
Yeah.
creepy. It's like, bro, you just said you're a sex offender.
And sometimes, even the way you look, they will judge you based off of that if
Right.
you're being
Oh,
creepy.
yeah.
Because, like, if you're, I'm sorry to say this, but if you're not that good looking, they will think you're just annoying and a creep and
Yeah.
people will definitely judge you for that.
Yeah.
Like,
And you
even
don't know what he looks like, but
and
yeah.
even I was telling you the story about the one who talked to me in the lift yesterday,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Like,
Exactly.
he was acting a bit creepy, but like, see, there's a proper way of talking to people, not being
Yeah.
creepy.
Yeah.
Approaching people in a nice way.
Yeah, it's a social thing, I guess, because he is like
Neurodivergent,
neurodivergent.
yeah. That's the
Um,
part that I didn't want to touch on, because, like,
yeah.
he said in the beginning that he's autistic and he's neurodivergent, which not everyone can see or not everyone will
Mm,
understand immediately. So maybe he should have started his speech with that, like, hey
yeah.
guys, I'm autistic and you're divergent. Because the thing is, he tried so hard to be cool or to be liked
Yeah.
by the club,
Yeah.
especially knowing that he's an alumni at that point. These are younger people
Right.
gonna
Yeah.
be in the club, and they will all think that, oh, he's looking
No,
for a
and his
lolly.
sentence as well that yeah, and his sentence as well, like I'm banned from school because the anime I like is too cool. Like already it's like people think you're a sex
Yeah,
offender and then you say you're banned from the schools. Like
like they can put two and two together. Oh my god. So
yeah.
I don't know, like, the phrasing of words here is very important, and I feel like that's one of the things that is usually the problem with anime fans. They
Mm,
are not socially adept, I guess,
yeah.
because most of the time it's the introverts like me,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
is exposed to a lot of anime and stuff. So, and that's why we also see a lot of weebs who are acting like anime in real life.
Mm.
So yeah, the one that you always say about the guy who's beating the wall like this,
Yep.
or like doing Naruto runs, doing
Mm.
Kamehameha, or doing meow 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 cutie.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I just had to.
Right.
Like, meow meow, I'm a cat, whatever. You're not. I'm sorry. But yeah, I don't know. Like, there should be a level of appropriateness to things.
Yeah.
Make it
Yeah.
age appropriate. Okay, that's it. And
Yeah. And
be
don't use
more mindful.
abbreviations when you
Yes.
introduce. Yeah, just avoid
Or
abbreviations.
you can use the abbreviations, but say the meaning first. I'm a real
Yeah.
shonen overload, aka RSO. Like, you could have just
Cause
said that first.
yeah, because no one uses that abbreviation, and like, no, and I think like abbreviating things can get you into a lot of trouble. It's like those
Yeah.
memes from a long time ago, right? Like LOL, and then they like, oh, your father died, LOL, and it's like because they thought it's lots of love.
Yeah.
Like abbreviations can get you into trouble. Just
Yeah.
use the full thing. It's an
Even the
introduction anyway.
SMH, so much,
Yeah.
is it so much hate, so much what?
Shake my
I don't know.
head.
Shake my head, right? So, I don't know. Like, a lot of things can get lost in translation, especially with
Right.
abbreviation. Like,
Yeah.
just in text alone, right? Like, chatting
Yeah.
alone.
And
So,
abbreviations can mean different things everywhere. Like, for example, MILF is different in the Philippines.
huh? How is it different in the Philippines?
MILF.
MIL. I'm sorry, Norvin, you have to bleep that, but yeah. Yeah, MILF. I forgot what it actually meant in the Philippines, but yeah, let's Google.
Philippines. Moro Islamic Liberation Front.
Oh, yeah, so see, it means something different in the Philippines.
Yeah.
It's not what you think, huh? You
Yeah.
degenerate.
Yeah. And for those that are watching and they're like, what is the Moro Islamic Liberation Front? According to Google, it basically like these particular islands in the Philippines, and these
Philippines.
people are fighting for this particular part of the Philippines to be independent using the military and all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's very
Another thing,
political.
Right. And another thing that's different as well in the Philippines and in America, for example, is KKK. Those are two different things.
What does it mean
Oh.
in? No, I don't know.
Oh, really? So, okay, you
I
say
know in
like
the
the Philippines.
Philippines.
Okay, you explain the one in the Philippines.
So in the Philippines, KKK is like the, what do you call this? It's also very political in nature, and the actual meaning is it's the katipunan, right? It's
Yeah.
kataas-taas sa kagalang-galangan na katipunan. I mean,
Yeah.
just translated in English, but it's a revolutionary group in the Philippines, in short.
So it's
So
like
what
a
does
good thing in the Philippines.
yeah,
In
yeah.
America, it's the KKK is the Ku Klux Klan. So that is
Ah.
actually a very old and like infamous American hate group. So they're
Mm,
very like racist and
mm.
yeah, it's very like white supremacist sort of, and they've done a lot towards people
Far
of
right,
color
yeah.
in the
Far
past.
right
Yes,
terrorism. Yeah.
yes,
Mm,
exactly. So
got
yeah,
it.
so just like avoid abbreviations because they mean different things in different places.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Just say the actual meaning of the word. So yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's it from my end. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. It's something new. Like for us, we enjoyed it. Like just
Yeah.
scrolling through Reddit and like sharing the stories. But let us know what you guys think.
Especially the
Don't
names.
exactly. Yeah. Oh yeah. And Toyota, please like the Filipino
Message
Toyota,
us,
not
yeah.
like yeah. Like please like reach out to us. Like we want to know if you're real. Or Benz.
Or
I believe you're out
Nissan.
there. Or so yeah, guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. Follow us on our socials at the Ara Ara channel. Follow us on. Oh, and join our Discord server as well. You can follow me at just anything. And for Vivs, you have anything to plug as well?
Yeah, so just follow me at Vivs Black Mage, and also do follow me on Twitch at Vivs Black Mage. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.
Bye.